So today I'm going to create a render with some water and some plants maybe, and of course a fractal. So let's start from the fractal Vectron object, delete this code as always, and I'm going to use a folding Brot formula. So select all, copy, paste here, and there we go. So I like folding Brot because it's really an organic formula. So I need something flat because later I want to add like a lake. So let's tweak a bit the parameters here. We have a box fold. Yeah, I'm going to set this one and this one to 1 and rotate the fractal 90 degrees. And I also want the Julia mode. So this could be like a flower. And let's try to change some parameters. Maybe some more folding so we have some more space. So in Cinema 4D there's a cool thing you can do in this case, like you have two parameters with the same and you want the same values here. You can right click and set driver and set driven, and then the parameter will be always the same. All right, I like this one. There's some cuts in here. That's of course because of the bounds. So if you don't want that, just increase the bound and they are gone. So let's find a good place for our camera now. So I want to avoid the symmetry, so something like this could work. Yeah, maybe I'll change later, but for now let's keep this one. And let's put some light in. So I'm going to use an daylight. You can just rotate the daylight object and the sun width will change the position. Something like that. Right? Then let's add some water. For this I'm going to add a plane. And maybe a little bigger, so we are sure that if we move the camera we are still safe and water will be always there, right? Something like that. Okay, that's cool. Let's add the water. I have this water from the water material from the LiveDB. of Octane. And this is already looking interesting. There are some dispersion in the water. I don't like this place here. Is this the plane? Yeah. Then what we can add to improve our light is to add a background. So let's add an hdri. I have a collection of hdri from TG Axis. Sorry, I don't know how to say that. Let's try this one, but first we need to create an hdri environment. So like that, go to the image texture and just drag and drop that. And set that to visible environment, so we will still have our daylight, but the hdri will affect reflections and yeah, in this case will do. And so in the water we will have some reflection from the sky. And what we can change is also the gamma sometimes, right? And a little bit the rotation. And another thing we can do is set mixed sky texture. So the daylight and the hdri will mix together and you get some more colors and variation from. Alright, I like this. We need a material for our fractal, so let's create a new shader, Octane material. And I'm going to pause Octane because when you play with the node editor, sometimes it's a little buggy, so you have to stop Octane while it's rendering. So we need to add a gradient for our fractal because I want to use fractal. I want to use material over iteration, so we have kind of a UV mapping of the fractal. And then we need a gradient, OSL gradient script. You can find that here in the Vectron formulas folder. Here it's the same. And as preset, I want to use something like very green, like this one. Let's try this out. So, and rename this to Vectron. So apparently, as always, is doing nothing, but actually that's because we have our the fractal on iteration, the material on iteration is working, but we are seeing only this part of the material. You see it's the same brown material color. So to change that, we can go in our color on iteration parameter or change the U mode. And you see that if you set that to 1, we already have some variation. But I like to stick with 0 and change some scale in the U scale first. Right, this is looking pretty cool. Let's add maybe some fog just to get a more sense of depth. So we need an object called Octane Fog Volume, and it's right there. So just move that. And what I like to do usually is set the volume as child of the Octane camera and reset the fog coordinate. And switch the camera here to perspective so I can move my fog around, and it will always follow the camera. And usually what I do is also reset this so the volume is perpendicular. Doesn't really change much, but I'm used to that. Let's change the density of this volume, so it's too much. This could be cool, but I want the fog in the background, not on this main subject. So it could start from here. And if you want some God rays like this one, and you want even more God rays, you can decrease the sun size to 0.1. And you will have more detail. It's not easy to choose a good position for the volume, but it's more like a trial and error until I'm happy with that. Like always in Octane. We could set a little bit of phase, so we have more yellowish light and fog here from the sun, and also set this one to a more white color. Okay, I like this one. I'm just going to make a beauty render to understand and think about what I could add or improve. So let's just wait. Okay, so the render is finished. There's a few things that I don't like. For example, these holes in the fractal, and I think I'm going to cover those with some green flat plane. So let's do that. I'm just going to duplicate the water plane. So, and call this hole fix. I'm not good at naming. And to match the same fractal color, I'm going to use another Octane material and disable the volume and also the water, And in the diffuse, I'm going to select the same color that I'm seeing here. Maybe this will work. I still see the water here. Ah, of course, it's duplicated. Anyway, this should work. And then just change the position so it match. All right. Now it's better without those holes. It's more realistic. Another thing I could do is add some flowers here. And we can do that with Octane Scatter. And I have somewhere here, I should have, yeah, water lily flower. So they are really too big, or my scene is too small. So let's select all the flowers and set them as child of Octane Scatter. And the scatter plane will be, of course, our water. And they are too big, so let's change the scale here. Uniform and set to 0.2. Let's try. All right. Doesn't look like they are really floating on the water, so we may adjust the position. All right, there's roots. Just a little bit, maybe. You can change the position here. All right, doesn't change a lot, but just wanted to check. And we already have something looking cool. Maybe too much, so you can of course decrease the count here. And I don't like the vertex displacement distribution, so I'm going to use the surface, and let's decrease that like 300, even too much, 200, and change the seed. I want to fill this space here, right there. Let's try to change our camera position so we have more. Yeah. And another thing we could do is add more details to this fractal material, because it's just a flat green and white gradient. So what we could do is let's download some materials from the LiveDB. I want something like a grass, so organic vegetation. Let's try. Come on, Octane, you can do that. All right, maybe some grass like this one. We could use this one, and I don't know, let's try this one, leaf or peach. I like the peach one. Download, and only when it's finished downloading you can close. So I want to add, let's say, the peach material only on this part of the fractal, and the grass only on the green part, like here, there, blah 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 blah. So the first thing I usually do when I have to convert, let's say convert a standard material like a grass material or a peach material for a fractal, I just apply that to our Vectron object and I try to understand what's happening. I didn't expect that. Anyway, and I usually change the diffuse and all the textures projection to box, so I can see the detail on the fractal. And to do that, this material is a little messy, but here we can see our texture. There's some turbulence. I don't care about that. I need this one and texture one. What is this? Just a color. All right. I think we are good with this one. Scale, fall off. Yeah. This turbulence also could be used. So what we need to do is change the projection mode to box, so we can have a little variation, and of course change also the scale. So I need one more screen, of course, for this. Okay, I like this one, and maybe you don't like that now, but you will change opinion later when the peach material will be only on some part of the fractal. So let's close that, and let's do the same for the grass. So you see it's just a flat green, but we don't like that. So like before, we need to change the projection, and to do that you just select both textures and add a projection, set that to box, and we can render only this part. Change the scale, I think. Maybe the contrast. So all right. Okay, and now we have to assign this material and this one to different parts of the fractal. So to do that, let's apply our gradient material, and I like to do in this way. So just store render buffer, so we have a reference for where is the white, where is the green, and I'm going to create a new shader, Octane material, and no, sorry, we need a mix material, so delete that. Shader, sorry, I can't create that. Mix material, finally, and open the node editor, and here we need to drag our gradient Vectron material, and we are going to steal this. So just copy and paste that to the amount, and we can see from our reference here that the white part is this, So it means that this could be set to full black, and this part here just pure white. And now that we have this kind of mask, we can drag our pitch material. It's a little messy. You can do select the material, and let's plug in this to the material number 2, and the grass, this one, to the material number 1. It's a little messy, but you can fix that. And actually, we don't need all those infos for fractal material. Usually it gets lost in the fractal details, so you could change and remove all this stuff here and just use a texture. So let's apply our mixed material to the fractal, and we should have something cool. I hope so, at least. So Octane wasn't happy and it crashed. So I did the scene again, and this is how it looks with the mixed material. And so there's the pitch material only here, and the grass material all over the fractal. And you can see the node editor. It just as we did before, that's the pitch and the grass material, all driven by this mask based on iteration number of the fractal. And then I did this again, so just replicate the process with another mixed material, so we can choose other parts where we want the fractal to be orange. And this is how it looks like. So it's just our mixed material plugged in another mixed material with a different gradient angle here. That was 1, and here it's 44. So the difference is that if we apply this, we have more color variation, always based on fractal iteration. It's like UV mapping based on iteration. So let's see if we can see that. And the difference is in this part that is more brown. It doesn't change much, but it's there's some variation in the color. So if in this material we can change the pitch, the second material, to be this red one, just a simple diffuse, and in this mixed material, if we change the gradient angle here, we can see that the spread of the red material will change. So we can have more or less. I want more, so just changing the gradient angle like this, and then replacing it again with our pitch material like that. So now I'm just going to make a big render, and let's wait until it's finished. The render is now finished, and of course you can add more and more stuff, but the fractal part for me is done. Hope you like it, and let me know if you try to replicate this, and of course send us your renders. Have fun.